Welcome to my channel. Today I want to show you how to make this delicious sourdough bread at home. You will find all the ingredients and precise measurements in the description below this video. For the recipe I will be using strong white bread flour, 2 types of spelt flour, water, active sourdough starter, and salt. For this purpose, I will first do an autolyse, which will help with the gluten development. I'm adding the water and the flour into the bowl. Autolyse is a simple process where you mix only the flour and water before adding salt or leaven. You let the dough rest for 30 minutes to 2 hours. During this time, the flour fully hydrates and enzymes begin to break down the proteins. This naturally starts the gluten development without any physical kneading. It makes the dough much more elastic, easier to work with, and results in a bread with better volume and texture. In the beginning, I won't knead. I will just stir it. The goal is to mix the flour and water until there are no dry spots. The dough has 80% hydration and will be very sticky at first. That's why I'll use a spoon to help. I'm covering it with a towel for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, the autolyse is finished. Now it's time for the sourdough starter. I will add the starter, which I activated 6 hours ago. In the beginning, I start by gently rubbing it between my fingers. Then I start kneading until it's fully incorporated. I'm going to do it a bit more intensively here. Now I'm leaving it again for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes of rest, it's time for the salt. I'm adding the salt and just 20 milliliters of water, 2 tablespoons, just enough to moisten it slightly. I start again by gently rubbing it between my fingers and lightly mashing the dough. Once the salt and water are absorbed, I start kneading more vigorously. After about 5 minutes, the dough looks much more elastic. But that's not quite enough, so I'll show you other techniques to fully develop the gluten. I'm letting it rest again for 30 minutes. After the rest, I do a stretch and fold. I wet my hands with water to prevent the dough from sticking. I reach under one side of the dough, pull it upwards, and fold it over towards the center. I repeat this on all sides. Instead of heavy kneading, stretching the dough develops the gluten network, giving the bread better structure and height. This method incorporates and preserves air bubbles, which leads to a light, airy crumb. Folding helps distribute the heat evenly throughout the dough for consistent fermentation. Notice how the dough goes from sticky to smooth and elastic. Now, I'm letting it rest again for 30 minutes, and then I'll perform a coil fold. I wet my hands with water again. I reach under the middle of the dough with both hands and lift it up until the ends pull away from the bowl. Let gravity do the work. Lift the dough high and let it drape over itself. You can feel the tension building. This is how we create that strong, airy foundation. A simple lift and a gentle tuck. That's the secret to a wild crumb. With every fold, the dough resists more. It's tightening up and becoming beautifully structured. Spelt gluten is fragile, so this is the final handling before pre-shaping. Less is more when it comes to ancient grains. See that beautiful stretch? As it falls back down, it tucks neatly underneath, trapping air inside. It should feel like a soft, silky pillow in your hands. I'll gently transfer our dough to a clean, oiled bowl. This keeps the surface smooth and makes it much easier to handle later. Now we cover and wait. We're looking for a 50% rise, just enough to see it become airy and light, but not overproofed. After a 6-hour bulk fermentation at room temp, you can see the change. The dough looks stable and fermented, ready for the next move. I'm sprinkling a little flour over the top to keep everything clean and manageable as we move to the next stage. No forcing, no tearing. I'm letting the dough release at its own pace to keep that delicate structure intact. Since we're working with high hydration, a little extra flour is key. I'm dusting it lightly so I can handle it without any sticking. Using my bench scraper, I'm cleanly dividing the dough. We're getting 2 loaves out of this batch today. I'm gently tensioning them into 2 even boules. Now, they'll rest under a towel for 15 minutes to allow the gluten to relax before the final shaping. The bench rest is over. You can see how the dough has softened and spread just a bit. That's the sign it's relaxed and ready to be shaped without resisting. Flour is my best tool here. I'm dusting at every step. Not too much, just enough to create a non-stick barrier so I can handle this high hydration dough smoothly. With a quick, smooth motion of the scraper, I flip the first piece. Keeping it light and airy is the goal here. First, I gently spread the dough out. Then I roll and push it to build the perfect tension for the final rise. Step by step, I roll, then push, tightening the dough with care. It's a delicate balance to get that perfect structure without tearing the surface. After a good, tight roll, I pinch the ends to lock everything in. This ensures it stays neat during the final proof. With a quick, decisive motion, I flip the dough into a banneton dusted with cornmeal, or any other flour, to prevent sticking during the final rise. And now, same again for the second one. Spread. Gentle stretch. Fold one side to the center, then the other and roll it up. And finally, pinch the ends to seal everything in. With that same motion, it goes straight into the banneton. Now, same again for the second one. I'm making crisscross pinches to stitch the dough and seal it completely. I cover them first, then a final dusting of flour before they go into the fridge for a 12 to 16-hour cold proof. This cold fermentation is crucial. It allows complex biological processes to occur, which significantly enhances the final flavor profile. After 14 hours, the dough has fully matured and is ready for the oven. I turn the dough out onto parchment paper. I use a brush to remove any unnecessary flour from the surface. Now it's time for the scoring. I make a few decorative marks and one main 45-degree cut to control the oven spring. I've preheated a Dutch oven with its lid to 250 degrees Celsius. I place the dough into the Dutch oven, cover it, and bake for 20 minutes at 250 degrees Celsius. After 20 minutes, I remove the lid and lower the temperature to 220 degrees Celsius for another 20 minutes of baking. The bread is now fully baked and has reached its perfect golden brown color. Just look at that beautiful golden brown crust. You can really smell the richness of the spelt. It gives the bread such a wonderful nutty aroma. Now, I'll let it cool on a wire rack for at least an hour until it's completely cold. The wait is over. It's finally time to slice into the loaf. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel for more recipes. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Do you have any experience with spelt flour? Or is this your first time?